In the headlines, Godswill Akpabio emerges Senate President as Tajuddin Abbas is elected Speaker of the Nigerian House of Representatives. Kidnapped Catholic priest regains freedom in Kaduna. Court orders arrest of Inspector General AIGs for contempt. And on the foreign scene, Eritrea rejoins East Africa Trade and Security Bloc IGAD after 16 years. Apologies for coming your way behind schedule, but thank you very much for joining us on Trust TV News Update. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We start the update in Abuja as Senator Godswill Akpabio has emerged President of the Nigerian Senate. He defeated his lone opponent, Senator Abdulaziz Yari, in a keenly contested election. Senator Ali Ndume nominated Senator Akpabio, while Senator Elisha Abo nominated Yari when the clerk of the National Assembly, Sani Tambuwal, called for nominations. After the election, Senator Akpabio was declared winner by the National Assembly clerk. Akpabio got 63 votes, while Senator Yari got 43 votes, as all 109 senators voted in the process. The report.
In line with laid-down procedures, Senator Ali Ndume nominated Senator Godswill Akpabio for the post of the Senate President, while Senator Elisha Abo nominated Senator Abdulaziz Yari as his opponent.
It is my utmost honor and privilege to now present to you His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio for the Senate Presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Where is he? Please stand up. Thank you.
Distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Yari to take the chair as the President of the 10th Senate. I so move.
Yari's nomination, however, did not go down well with Senator Tahiru Mungunu, who now said that Yari's nomination was unconstitutional. Mungunu's stance, however, led to a rowdy session before the clerk of the National Assembly intervened. After the election, Senator Akpabio was declared winner and the clerk of the National Assembly administered oath of office on him. Senator Barau Jibril from Kano State emerged unopposed as Deputy President of the 10th Senate.
Senator-elect Godswill Akpabio, who has received the highest number of votes, is hereby declared and returned President of the Senate.
In his acceptance speech, Senator Godswill Akpabio assured Nigerians of harmonious legislative-executive relationship. He, however, emphasized that the legislative arm would maintain its independence despite being endorsed by his party.
We will try our best to also make laws that will move forward and encourage foreign direct investment into the country. The current administration has brought about the acronym of Renewed Hope, and I think the Senate will join in ensuring a total renewal of hope for Nigerians, where there seem to have been no hope.
On the issue of petroleum subsidy removal, Akpabio assured that all necessary legislation will be put in place to cushion its effects.
I want to plead with you, distinguished senators, to permit me to offer special commendations to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces for the bold step he has so far taken, particularly in the issue of subsidy. If it requires legislative backing, we shall give.
Shortly after being sworn in, he equally sworn in all the other senators-elect for the 10th Assembly to commence.
In a related development, the APC consensus candidate Tajuddin Abbas has emerged as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Abbas polled 353 votes to defeat the immediate past Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Ahmed Idris Wase from Plateau State, and Aminu Sani Jaji from APC Zamfara State, who got 3 votes each. Before the commencement of the voting process, Abbas was nominated by the immediate past House Leader Alhassan Ado Doguwa and seconded by Nnolim Naji. Tijani Kayode Ismail nominated former Deputy Speaker Ahmed Idris Wase, and his nomination was seconded by Muhammad Ari Abdul Mumin. Ahmed Yusuf Ibrahim Doro nominated Aminu Sani Jaji, who was seconded by Muhammad Aminu Ibrahim. Abbas, however, scored the highest vote to emerge as the Speaker and was immediately sworn in by the Clerk of the National Assembly, Sani Tambwal.
I rise to present to you a man, like I said, who I believe is creditably reliable, and by providence of his hard work, he has been able to take to his credit 78 legislative bills, out of which 20 bills have been accented by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination as made by
I vote Honorable TJ Abbas.
He said that he will do all the good he can to all the people he can, at all the time he can, in all the places he can, to all the members he can, and every inch of the time.
By Honorable Jimmy Benson and ably seconded by Honorable Khadija. I so accept.
Now, in other news, a member representing Rogo constituency, Jibril Falgore, of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, has been elected the new Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly. Bello Butu, representing Dawakin Tofa, is returned Deputy Speaker of the House after the inauguration of the Assembly on Tuesday. The new Speaker pledged to work in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
40 members of the Kano State 10th Assembly have now taken their oath of office within the Assembly's complex.
That as Speaker of Kano State House of Assembly, I will discharge my responsibilities.
I will discharge my duties.
I will discharge my duties.
My duties.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Faithfully.
And
in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Representing Rogo constituency in the Assembly, the Speaker, while taking his oath of office, assured that the House will not waste time in moving ahead with the assigned responsibility by the good people of Kano State.
I wholeheartedly accept the mandate, and I pray for Allah Ta'ala to intervene and guide me throughout my time as the Speaker of this honorable House. It is the will of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most gracious, the most compassionate, who made it possible for me to be the Speaker of this honorable House. I must also thank and appreciate His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf.
To be deputized by Bello Butu of Rimingada Tofa constituency, the Speaker also promised that all other principal officers of the 10th Assembly will be announced in the next coming days. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
In Adamawa State, Governor Umaru Fintri has urged the newly appointed Secretary to the State Government, Chief of Staff and Head of Service to prioritize welfare of the citizens, especially the vulnerable and marginalized groups in the society. Salis Lawan reports that the governor gave the charge while swearing in the appointees in Yola, the state capital.
The new secretary to the Adamawa State Government, Awal Tukur, who is the son of the former governor of Old Gongola State, was picked ahead of the immediate past SSG Ahmed Bashir, who many believed worked against his immediate constituency, Yola North, in last election. The governor also inaugurated the head of civil service of the state, Shehu Isa Ardo, and Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Afremon Jingi. Speaking after administering the oath of office on the 4 appointees, Governor Umaru admonished them to consider their appointment as a call to serve the populace.
I urge you to work tirelessly in the discharge of your duties, keeping the interests of the people of Adamawa State at the forefront of your minds. As you assume your new roles, I implore you to embrace teamwork and collaboration. Together with other members of the cabinet that will soon be appointed, I expect you to foster a harmonious and inclusive working environment where ideas are freely shared and decisions are made in the best interests of our people.
The Secretary to the State Government, Awal Tukuru, pledges on behalf of others to give in their best for even development of the state.
We all understand that leadership is not merely a title or a position. It is a responsibility to serve the people with integrity, with empathy, and with fairness. We also further recognize the significance of teamwork and collaboration.
The new appointees were encouraged to seek innovative approaches to governance, tapping into the vast potential of Adamawa State toward ensuring that every citizen has a voice and a stake in the government. Salis Lawan, Trust TV News, Yola.
In Kaduna, the kidnapped parish priest of Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Karku, in Kauru local government area of the state, Reverend Father Jeremiah Yakubu, has been released by his abductors. This was confirmed by the Chancellor of the Catholic Diocese of Kafanchan, Reverend Father Emmanuel Okolo, who says the kidnapped priest regained his freedom on Monday evening. He, however, did not disclose if any ransom was paid or not before the abducted priest was released. Yakubu was kidnapped when from the parish rectory, in the Kauru local government area of the state at about 11 p.m. on Sunday. Kidnapping for ransom is common across Nigeria's northwest and north central regions, and Kaduna State is one of the worst hit states. Religious clerics and peasants in vulnerable communities in the state have fallen prey to the kidnappers. Some of them have been killed in captivity, while others were freed after ransom was paid. A boat ferrying over 100 people has capsized in the River Niger around the Patigi area of Kwara State. The incident occurred at the early hours of Tuesday as they were returning to Ebu village from a wedding ceremony at Boti community. A resident of Patigi, Malam Isa Gimba, told our correspondent that the bodies of 15 people have so far been recovered out of the over 100 people on board. The Secretary, Patigi Local Government Area of the State, Malam Idris Pata, says the council has mobilized people to support the survivors who cut across Zakan in Kwara and Sampi village in neighboring Kogi State. He, however, advised people residing in the riverine areas to desist from night journeys as the River Niger may overflow its banks from time to time due to heavy downpour. In 2023 alone, states such as Bayelsa and Niger State have also experienced several ghastly boat mishaps. Now, a National Industrial Court in Abuja has ordered the arrest of the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, and the Force Secretary, AIG Hafiz Inua, for disobeying the court order regarded as contempt. The court had earlier ordered the Inspector General to reinstate some police officers who are graduates of courses 33, 34, and 35 of the Police Academy, said to have been forcefully retired by the force, but the court order was allegedly not complied with. The aggrieved officers approached the court and sought an order to nullify their compulsory retirement from the service by the Inspector General. The court, presided over by Justice Oyebiola Oyeumi, then ordered that the Inspector General, the Police Service Commission, and the force secretary of the police to reinstate the forcefully retired officers. However, since April 19, 2022, when the judgment was delivered, the Inspector General of Police and other defendants in the case have failed to obey the court order. In a recent order given by the court on June 8, 2023, a copy of which was made available to newsmen on Tuesday, Justice Oyeomi chastised the Inspector General for the latter's refusal to obey the court order despite the advice of the relevant stakeholders in the police force. You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up after the break. Experts prefer solutions to cushion the effect of subsidy removal. Details coming up ahead. Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. First, a look at the stories making the headlines at this hour. Godswill Akpabio emerges Senate President as Tajuddin Abbas is elected Speaker of the House of Representatives. Kidnapped Catholic priest regains freedom in Kaduna. Now, reactions have continued to trail the recent removal of fuel subsidy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as Nigerians struggle to adapt to the new normal of soaring petrol pump prices. Economic experts prefer possible solutions to cushion the effects on Nigerians. Here's Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail with the report.
In the last 2 decades, successive Nigerian governments have made several efforts to remove fuel subsidy that cost billions of naira on daily basis. Former President Muhammadu Buhari planned to disburse 5,000 naira stipends to poor Nigerians to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. Experts have since criticized the move, which according to them is not the right decision, calling for a better means of palliatives.
But you see, in terms of palliatives, you see, the subsidy removal is a good policy if the government can come up with well thought out plans, if it can come up with sound policies. But again here, the policies again is something very difficult because you need time to identify who are actually the poor masses who are going to be hit by this effect. Take for instance the urban those employed in the urban areas. They are mostly going to be affected by this recent subsidy removal, as well as those in the rural areas. But the urban masses are mostly going to be hard hit because price of transportation will go up.
The economic expert who maintained that removing fuel subsidy is a right decision pointed that failure to introduce viable means of palliatives and other infrastructure to support the masses will lead to inflation.
Prices of some basic amenities will go up. So I think if government can come up with a sound way also as to ensure, okay, in terms of maybe government will roll out some palliative measures, maybe buses, like how you find in some developed countries where at least there are lots of infrastructures. Is it that's why the government is saying it wants to channel these resources into infrastructure like good roads, health, education, and so on and so forth. So I think R&D and so on and so forth. So I think if government actually channels these resources into those sectors, fine and good. But if it fails to do so, well, I think the people will feel dejected. The government has failed them once more. But I think let's be optimistic.
Although President Bola Tinubu promised palliatives to cushion the effect of soaring fuel prices, it is not yet clear what his policy will look or when it will come to effect. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Gombe.
Now let's turn our attention to developments on the international scene. Eritrea says it is ready to work towards peace, stability and regional integration after it rejoined the East African Bloc, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, on Monday. The move comes nearly 16 years after the politically isolated state pulled out of the bloc. Information Minister Yemeni Meskel says Eritrea resumed its activity in IGAD and took its seat at a summit organized by the seven-nation bloc in Djibouti on Monday. The East African nation, led by 77-year-old Isaias Afwerki, who has ruled for 3 decades in Eritrea, had suspended its IGAD membership back in 2007 after a string of disagreements. One of them was the bloc's decision to ask Kenya to oversee the resolution of a border dispute between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Eritrea broke away from Ethiopia, its neighbor, in 1993 and fought a 2-year border war that prolonged into intense and bitter relations until 2018, when a peace agreement was signed with President Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia. Right, that's our package on Trust TV News Update. Many thanks for joining us. Feel free to join us on social media. Follow the interactions on our YouTube live stream. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for your time and company.